These heavy vats full of molten brass could explode any minute and cause deadly burns. But workers still play with fire every day just to create a simple household item: scissors.
मौत के मुंह में 24 घंटे आदमी बैठा रहता है इसके अंदर.
The Indian city of Meerut is known for them, with 300 small workshops specializing in different parts of the process. Tailors and barbers across India swear by their sharpness and durability. But now, the livelihood of hundreds of scissor craftsmen could be at risk, because cheaper, mass-produced scissors from China are flooding Indian markets. So, will this industry survive the test of time while still putting workers' lives on the line? This ancient city has been producing scissors for over 3 centuries. And the very first step is forging the blades. Workers heat scrap iron pieces on coal until they're red hot. They take turns hammering it into a blade. Their rhythm is flawless. They can make about 300 blades a day. Workers transport them to a small factory that makes handles using metals that are 100% recycled from old aluminum, copper, and brass utensils. They melt the pieces inside a furnace. It's more than 100 degrees in here, and even hotter right next to the fire.
जब गर्मी होती है तो सांस नहीं ले आता क्योंकि जोश फैन नहीं है लगे हुए जो धुआं बाहर वो खींच ले.
This is where Gulsanawar, a master craftsman, has worked for 18 years. He starts by making casts for the scissor handles. First, he places dummy scissors into these trays to create a mold. The workers then cover it with a special black powder made from sugarcane juice and sand. It's dense and sticky, so it helps create a strong imprint. The dummy scissors are removed, and workers dust the mold with a mixture of chalk and flour to help set it. The new blades are inserted, and the box is then sealed. The casts are stacked up, and the molten mixture from the furnace is poured in. This will form the handles.
खुशबू बहुत भयानक आवे उसके अंदर बहुत ऐसी हो गई जैसे कलेजे में धुआं अंदर जावे और ऐसा लगे चीरता हुआ था आ गए ना उसके अंदर एक देर में फट जा पीतल तो बाहर निकल जाए एकदम.
And that's exactly what happened to Gulsanawar when he was just 18.
जिसके अंदर फोरा सा था ना जिसमें पीतल था पिलगावा वो फट गई थी. ये पूरे दोनों पाँव जले थे मेरे तो सही हो गया. ये भी यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक था पूरा.
He says it took 7 months for his legs to heal. But he continued working here to support his parents.
हाँ परिवार ने बहुत मना करा लेकिन ये है कि क्या करें.
The furnace runs on electricity, but that's expensive. So workers sometimes use coal, diesel, or even trash to spark the flames. It produces a lot of smoke and soot.
2 इंची धूल चढ़ी पड़ी पूरी फैक्ट्री के अंदर. ये सब हमारा हलक में तो जाती है.
80% of workers here have lung diseases. Most of them don't expect to live past 45.
करने को तो बतेरा कुछ कर लें लेकिन करते नहीं वो क्योंकि पैसा खर्चा होगा.
The forged scissors are hot to touch. So workers throw them into the same black sand used for the casts, which also acts as a cooling agent. extreme heat has oxidized the metal blades, giving them this black rusted look. Gulsanawar makes at least 600 scissor sides every day in these hellish conditions. Machines could make this job quicker and safer, but he doesn't want things to change.
तो फिर हमारी भी छुट्टी हो जाएगी अगर जब मशीन आ गए तो हमारा भी हाथ का काम जाएगा.
Even as a master craftsman, he earns only 300 rupees a day, or $3. In India, that's enough to afford about 3 dozen eggs. This workshop is owned by a local businessman. Others are available for rent to artisans who bring their own equipment, like Muhammad Gulfam. This stone grinding wheel, which sharpens the blades, cost him about 9,000 rupees. Now he needs to pay it off, so he puts in long hours working from 9 a.m. till 9 at night. One wrong move and the consequences can be life-threatening.
ये हड्डी तक की काट देता है ये, इतनी तेज धार होती है इसकी. जो जवान जिनके छोटे-छोटे बच्चे हैं वो बेचारों को उनके वालिद साहब इंतकाल फरमा गए.
He wears goggles, but the sparks can still get into his eyes and blind him.
हाँ वो जाता है, इसका फूल जाता है तो रात भर नींद नहीं आती, मगर फिर उसके लिए ना निकलवाना पड़ता है. माचिस की तीली नहीं होती जिससे बीड़ी वगैरह सिगरेट जलाते हैं, उसका कट बना के उससे निकालते हैं.
Gulfam says it takes about 20 people to make just one pair of scissors.
सभी परेशान हैं इस काम में, मगर ये अपने टाइम को धक्का दे रहे हैं बस.
But these sharp blades are what makes Meerut scissors so unique. They are made to last longer than 100 years. That's why tailors like Muhammad Sarwar refuse to use anything else.
ये तो कैंची में तकरीबन 15-20 साल हो गया उसको.
His shop is in New Delhi, but he relies on Meerut scissors.
दार खत्म है, दार लगवा लेते हैं, महीना 2 महीना.
Making scissors is a big part of Meerut's history. The craft originated during the Mughal Empire in the 16th century. Legend has it, a local blacksmith made the very first pair by forging 2 swords together. In the 1940s, Meerut exported scissors as far as Burma and Singapore. The city has long been known as a busy trading center, famous for its handmade brass musical instruments and sports goods. And in 2013, it was recognized as the only place in the world that can create these custom scrap metal scissors using centuries-old techniques. But the industry has seen challenges in the past decade. Craftsmen say the cost of raw materials like brass has gone up in recent years. On top of that, India imposes an 18% tax on these scissors, even though other handicrafts are taxed at 5%. Meanwhile, China produces them on a much larger scale, using machines and cheaper materials like plastic handles, which brings down the cost. You can buy Chinese scissors for about 200 rupees or for $2 a pair, while ones from Meerut sell for up to 1,000 rupees or $12. China is also the biggest exporter, generating over $700 million in 2022. But India had to import $46 million worth of scissors that year.
अब काम बिल्कुल नहीं रहा, क्यों चाइना की कैंची इतनी उतर चुकी है. हर आदमी चाइना को ज़्यादा याद करता है. कोई रिक्शा चला रहा है, कोई बैलदारी का काम पे जा रहा है, किस वजह से परेशानी को देखते हुए कि भाई इसमें इतनी कमाई नहीं हो रही, किराया दिन निकलते ही चढ़ जाता है.
Finally, the scissor halves are joined together. Workers clean them with diesel, which removes any grease or dirt. They're sharpened and polished one last time to give the blades a lasting shine. They're delivered to bigger Indian cities like Kolkata, Mumbai, and New Delhi. Back at Gulsanawar's home, the scissors he made with his own hands are used by his family every day. His wife Shabnam cuts cloth with them for her tailoring job. But she always worries about his safety.
और ये तो कह रही मैं कि इन कामों से निकल जाओ, दूसरा काम देख लो।
Their two sons also work at the factory.
घर का किराया है, बिजली का बिल है, सब चीज़ बहुत महंगी है, खर्चे पूरा हो नहीं रहा, क्या करें।
That's why, even though this job is slowly killing him, he hopes the industry can still survive.